Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Hey everyone, FRATER Super Abo here, coming at you again with another video. Thank you for joining me and checking out my channel today. This week, again, we are continuing with the Back to Basics series. Really quick though, before I get started on the topic, I'm going to do everybody's favorite annoying YouTuber thing and say, if you haven't already, look below, find that big red button marked subscribe and hit that for me. Also, look to the right or to the left somewhere. It's on the screen somewhere. There's a bell. I want to go ahead and hit that for me as well. That way you will be notified every time that I upload new videos and you can get all the wonderful magic occulty information as soon as it happens. So, thank you in advance for everyone helping me. Really quick, I just want to do a reminder that we do have the goal here of reaching 1,000 subscribers by the vernal equinox. I know we're going to make it happen, guys. I appreciate everyone's work and help helping me to accomplish this goal. And I know we're going to do it. So I'm going to thank you guys in advance. Remember to like, subscribe, and share as always. And again, just a quick reminder, if this is your first video by any chance, we are doing a giveaway. When I reach that goal of 1,000 subscribers, we will do the giveaway contest. So let's make it happen, guys. Thank you again for all your help and support. And I will end that with that, and we'll get back to topic. So today's topic, as you can see in the title, is where do I start? In the beginning, what do you do? This video is probably overdue, honestly. Maybe I should have done this one first before some of the other videos, but, you know, as it were, this is how it worked out. So I'm doing it now, and that's what's important. So what I want to accomplish today is basically giving you a blueprint of sorts. I'm not going to strictly say in specific detail, giving you this big laundry list of things to do. If you do that and you overwhelm yourself in the beginning, you're done. It can really deter you more than it can help you. But what I want to do today is give a basic blueprint, I guess you could say, of what to do. Things that I wish people would have told me in the beginning, little tips and recommendations, as it were, of what I believe to be helpful. A real quick disclaimer on that. If you are involved with any type of fraternal order, magical order, anything, any type of teaching order, as it were, do not let what I say today deter you, or not deter you, do not let it make you stray from the practices that you have been given by your teacher, instructor, senior member, whatever your senior teacher is called. Whatever you call them. Don't let what I say today, if it conflicts with that, I would advise you to continue with the stated curriculum that is given to you by your instructor. That's just my advice. I am not here, again, I'm not here to say this is how it must be done, my way is the best way, yada yada yada. Now, if you feel that your curriculum is somewhat lacking, or you think that if I mention a ritual practice or I mention something that you're not doing or you've never heard of and you think would be good to do, before starting it, talk to your instructor, talk to your teacher, mention it to them. Most of the times, these curriculums are laid out a certain way for a reason. And they have developmental exercises and a format as to the degrees and the order and the stages of training and initiation. So, you don't want to muddy up the waters with that plan. Obviously, if you feel drawn to that type of order, something brought you there, so it's important to kind of go with the flow. Now, I'm not going to discourage and say don't do what I'm saying, but I'm just saying that you should probably, before adopting any practices that may be different, you should consult with your teacher first. That's just my words of advice. But again, as we say it, as you will. So anyway, what do I do? What do you do when you start? A lot of people find themselves asking this question, and it can be very confusing. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of books to read. There's a lot more better information now. Let me clarify that. But back in the day, before the internet was a big popular thing, some of these well-known occultists now, they had to find this information. I mean, they didn't have the internet always. Now there is a plethora of magic stuff at the click of a mouse, and you can connect with people, and it's amazing. But I don't need to tell you that. I'm doing a fucking YouTube video, for Christ's sake. But my point is now you can find information out there. It's not all good. It's not all good information, so don't believe everything you hear on the internet. But it's much easier now to find things with search. There's also much more occult magic books than there were back in yesteryear. So there is a wealth of information out there. I will recommend a few texts that I think are very helpful for the beginner and will be always valuable and useful for you throughout your whole entire magical journey, spiritual path, what have you, whatever you want to call it. So I'll probably end with that. I'm not doing a ritual today, so we'll get back to that in future videos. But anyway, what do you do? How do you start? This is what you're gonna be asking yourself if you're new to this. Whatever brings you to this type of thing, whether it's curiosity, whether it's a friend, whether it's some sort of, I don't know, revelation or calling you feel you've had, a dream, anything, that doesn't really matter. No matter what, however you got to this point to say, I want to practice magic, I want to know about hidden occult things, esoterica, blah, blah, blah. However you got here, you're here. And you can find yourself saying, well, what the hell do I do now? Like what's the first step? I mean, I know I did. I had no clue. I just knew that, I wanted to do something. I had a change in the way I saw things religiously by reading a book. And then curiosity developed, and it kind of went from there. But when I just said, oh, okay, well, it's going to be about magic for me. It's going to be about magic and that type of spiritual lifestyle, I was totally confused about where to go, what to do. Should I join an order? Should I do this? Should I do that? Like, what should I be doing to get things going? I mean, it's real easy if you're part of regular, call it modern religion, ancient religion, whatever. Religion, as it were, your standard stuff, you go, the preacher or the priest, they tell you what to do. You read your Bible, you read your Torah, you do, you know what I mean, your Quran, and you go to church on Sunday or Saturday if you're Seventh-day Adventist, or, mosque on Friday if you're, an Islam, Muslim person. It's pretty cut and dry, and you have this one source and you have guidance, but it's not the case in occultism. Occult means hidden. So some of the stuff is hidden. I mean, it's in the name, so it's not really like, broadcasted out there until now, really, where you have information readily available, like right in your living room, so to speak. You still have to look for it, though. It's not common knowledge. And you can be really confused. It can be really confusing in the beginning. And sometimes so confusing where people quit and just say throw their hands up and be done. I would like to think if, you come to this type of path, you come to it for a reason. And I want to personally make information available to people on how to get started. Now, I'm not revealing any type of big secret no-nos or anything. I'm not talking about fraternal orders or magical secrets or anything like that. But I'm talking about general information on how to get started and how you can discover how you would want to go and move forward. So, my recommendation, all right, is 1, adopt a practice of prayer. You heard me talk in all my other videos pretty much. I've mentioned it at least once. About working your magical muscles, as it were, or doing energetic exercise, or magical hygiene is a famous one that's thrown out there. So it's just like anything else. You work at it, you develop. So in order to do this, no one's going to be an expert right away. You're not going to be instant adept. You know, we don't all just all of a sudden, you know, and boom, we are, you know, super magician. We know everything and know what to do, and, you know, we're all Harry Potter and yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? It's not like that. We're not just immediately enlightened and we know what to do and when to do it. Now, some people may act that way, but it is not the case. So what do? You have to do practices that help you develop. You will see me doing said rituals on this channel. Some of those are exercises to do in the beginning and throughout your whole magical career to, you know, work your magic muscles, you know, to develop them, to learn to feel energy and adapt. So you want to, from day one, you want to adopt some form of energetic working. A simple ritual exercise practice. Now, many teachers will start you out by just learning to sit and relax. That is very important, and I see very much value in that. However, it is quite boring. Now, and I'm not discouraging this, and I'm not, if you've had if your teacher told you and you just started out and he says for the first 3 weeks, I just want you to sit there for 15 minutes and do absolutely nothing, learn to relax, do that shit. There is value in learning to relax and relaxation. If you can't relax, you will not be able to free your mind and then go to one pointed concentration mode and focus like you will need to be able to focus to do a more in-depth magical ritual later on. If you cannot relax, there is no way you are going to be able to communicate with an entity to free your mind of all of distractions and be open to spiritual energy during an evocation. There's no way. If you can't do something as simple as relaxing for minutes at a time and not allowing things to distract you, you will never be able to do some of the more advanced magical things, the cool stuff or whatever that you always, you know, that you may hear about or think that magic is all about. You know, you'll never be able to do that if you can't relax. So there's a reason they tell you to do this. I don't feel that it's the only thing you should be doing from day one, but it is a helpful thing, and you can do it. You know, you can just start by learning to sit and relax, and that's fine. If you want to start that way, that's great. If not, in addition to that, I would adopt a practice of prayer. We hear it all the time. Invoke often and inflame thyself in prayer. Prayer is important, no matter what you believe in or don't believe in. Whether you're just praying to, you know, the higher self, as it were, or the holy guardian angel, the divine genius, whatever you feel. If you feel they're two separate things or whatever, get to that later. God, goddess, gods, whatever, ancestors, anything. A form of prayer. Adopt that form of prayer from day one. It's important. Again, my opinion. If it wasn't important, we wouldn't see this throughout culture. We would not see this in most occult books. You wouldn't see all the so-called, you know, the great magicians of the past using these terms, telling you to invoke and inflame thyself in prayer and how important it is. It is important, and it can be very enriching for your spiritual experience. Something as simple as prayer when you wake up in the morning, maybe at noon if you have time, and before you go to bed. Doing something like that, sitting and relaxing, can really start your day off right, end your day right, and it goes a long way. Okay, so adopt the practice of prayer. Relaxation, prayer. Number 2, I would say adopt a simple ritual practice, such as the lesser ritual of the pentagram, something that creates sacred space, and something that, again, is another form of prayer, and is also bringing in subtle energies. You want to learn to work with these subtle energies before, you know, if you can't do that, again, there is no way you're going to be able to work with something big like the Assumption of God forms, or absorbing and controlling and directing planetary or zodiacal energies, or anything, any of those things. If you can't learn to feel, recognize, and just be in the presence of these subtle energies, like something simple, again, as doing a Kabbalistic cross and a pentagram ritual, or the star ruby. If you can't do, not that these aren't powerful rituals for cleansing the aura and strengthening the body of light, because they are. That's why I'm saying to do them. But again, it's these subtle workings, these simple things you can do that are going to really pay off in the long run. So again, number 2, adopt a simple ritual practice, something that you're going to do every day as a form of setting up your space, working with the body of light, and working the magical muscles. So a pentagram ritual or star ruby, something like that, in addition to your daily practice of prayer. Number 3, meditation. Meditation, meditation, meditation. And I would recommend you do it in this order too. You know, start off relaxed, breathing, prayer, pentagram ritual, which is another form of prayer. And then you set your space, your circle, whatever, and then you meditate. Whether it's meditation as in one-pointed concentration on a topic, on a verse from a holy text, on a symbol, trying to discover a meaning to it, as it were, or just looking at the symbol to learn that one-pointed concentration, whether it's a yin-yang or a fire triangle, a water triangle, a hexagram, anything, whether it's a more in-depth meditation later on, such as something meditating on the elements and seeing all of the elemental symbols and corresponding it with the breath. Get into the habit of doing a daily meditation, and I would say twice a day is a great practice, just like your practice of prayer, meditation. And it doesn't have to be long, guys. It does not have to be long. You know, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. I'm all about overkill. I've always been that way, and sometimes it really it makes me pay. So I can tell you from experience, try not to do too much, because it will mess with you in the long run, and sometimes it can be more catabolic than anabolic, more detrimental than helpful. You'll get there, trust me, where you can do more and more and more. But simple things. Meditation, 5 to 10 minutes. We're all busy, you know. We're all busy. I don't want to hear I don't have the time. I'm sorry. It doesn't fly with me, you know. I don't have the time. If you want something bad enough, if you desire to grow, if this means something to you, if it's your true will, if it's a part of your life's purpose, doing magic and growing spiritually and energetically, if being a magician, a witch, whatever you want to call yourself, sorcerer, anything, if that's a part of your life's purpose, you'll make the time. You'll find the time to do it. And you're going to have to learn, again, if you want to do some of these other practices, you're going to have to be able to do simple things like meditation to get yourself in the right frame of mind to do these things. There's just no way around it. So, prayer, relaxation and prayer. I'm just going to say pentagram ritual, so a basic ritual. Meditation, there's 3 things that you can do from day 1. All right. Number 4, I'm going to throw one more at you. Number 4, magical diary, journal. Do this right away. Even if you haven't done if you're not doing the meditation or the ritual practice yet, do the magical diary along with the prayer. No matter what, write that shit down. What you're doing, write down what you did, when you did it, the moon phase, all that stuff. There's all different ways to do it, or just, let it flow. If you're a part of a training system already, your teacher's going to have you do this anyway because they're going to want to see it most of the time. So this is an invaluable tool, something that I didn't do right away because I didn't have anyone tell me to do it. I didn't know. So, I wish I would have, because I found it very difficult to get into the practice of something when I didn't know to do it. No one had told me. But anything out there, any books, anything worth reading, anything will tell you to adopt this practice from day 1. Again, magical journal. That's all I'm going to say. It can be electronic, it can be on the computer, it can be recording your voice, it can be whatever. Just find a way to do it. I think having a magical diary is it's a beautiful thing to have. You can get some of these things. You can make them. You know what I mean? It's all another thing. It's all another layer of useful things, of practices, a tool to use and spiritually developing. I mean, and you'll collect them over the years. I mean, this is like number 3 for me of just basic, thoughts and stuff. And you can see, certain things, and you just write in it. It's a journal. So having an actual physical book is great. Now, I personally keep 2. I have one for like daily thoughts and things and what I did, and then I have another separate one that I record actual magical workings or rituals that I've created, or a basic like a grimoire, my personal book of shadows, if you want to call it that, if you like to use that term, whatever. But anyway, my point is, whether you want to do it that way or whether you want to get to stand up. Anyway, if you want to do it that way, if you want to put everything in the same book, just be detailed. Again, follow your teacher's instructions on the magical diary if you have an instructor. But my point is, do it. Write it down. So there you have 4 things, 4 tools, right, to do from day 1. And, like I said, don't do overkill. Just, start with that. Later on, in a month or 2, you can adopt more detailed meditations and energetic. I would add the middle pillar exercise, the middle pillar ritual, middle pillar exercise, whether it's the standard form or some form of adapted form. There's all sorts of stuff out there. If you search middle pillar on YouTube, you're going to see a bunch of stuff. Start with the traditional one. I would learn to do it, learn the colors, learn the practice. Again, it is a tool that will benefit you for your entire magical path. I'll just say it's great energy raising tool. It's just wonderful. Again, you can reference my video on the middle pillar if you would like to get more information on that. So that's another ritual practice that you can adopt. But again, I would just start out simple. So in the beginning, prayer and relaxation. Relaxation, prayer, magical diary, basic ritual every day, meditation. There's 4. I'm going to throw a bonus in for you though, okay? A bonus, one that never gets talked about. Never gets talked about. I'm lying. It gets talked about, but it gets like a line. It gets like a sentence in books. It gets a sentence, maybe a page if you're lucky. It gets a page. A couple pictures here and there, and then they don't say anything else about it. So number 5, bonus technique, all right? Number 5, on what to do in the very beginning. If you don't already do it, if you're not accustomed to do it, adopt a form of physical exercise. Whoa! No, this has nothing to do with exercise and working out, Frater. What are you talking about? It has everything to do with it. Everything. And I'm not saying you must do it, but I'm going to tell you with 110% certainty, you will be a better magician if you are involved in some sort of physical activity or fitness or sport or whatever. It's just something physical, something to work your literal muscles in addition to working your spiritual muscles. Neglect not the temple of the body. Pay attention to that stuff. It's important. So if you're not already doing something, and it can be fun too, not just, you know, people look at this as work, or I have to find time to do this and that and blah, blah, blah. If that's the attitude you have about growing spiritually and or physically, then maybe this isn't for you, bud. You know, maybe try conventional religion again. I don't know. But, you know, and I'll probably piss some people off by saying that, but still, you know, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Again, just like in one of my previous videos, if you don't want to do the work, then, you know, what are you here for? Why do this? The whole point of doing this is to do this. So, again, this is not, you know, this is my gospel truth. This is information that I think is valuable to people. And I feel that it is neglected. Like, the people are neglecting they're neglecting their physical temple. You know, it's you know, if there's anything out there that the, you know, New Agers that, you know, everybody gets on, if there's anything that they have right, it's putting good stuff in your body, good food, and exercise. These people are really freaking gung-ho about that shit, man, and, you know, more power to them. You know, especially in Western ceremonial magic, you'll hear a lot of people crack on the New Agers, you know what I mean? New Agers, yada, yada, yada. And I get it, you know what I mean? You know, and believe me, it's not all crystals and dolphins, as, you know, my one of my favorite authors, Mark Allen Smith, would say. You know, there's some real raunchy, dirty crap out there, but, you know, and it's not all happy-go-lucky. But if there's one thing those happy-go-lucky New Agers got right, man, it is, you know, taking care of the body. Again, you know, if you don't see the point in that, I will break it down for you right now. If you cannot bring yourself to do the bare minimum, whether it's yoga or just basic calisthenics or anything like that, just anything, something for fun, I mean, whatever. If you can't, you know, put yourself through, you know, 15 minutes, 45 minutes of exercise discomfort or sport for fun, then how are you going to go through the grueling activities sometimes that are these spiritual journeys? You know, I'm not going to harp on it too much longer, but I'm just saying it helps. It's not completely necessary, but it's recommended. And I guarantee you, you're better off doing it than you are without it. Do you have to be, you know, supreme athlete or anything like that to be a magician? Absolutely not. No, you don't. But if you're involved in some sort of physical activity and you're taking care of yourself, you will be a better magician than you were as if you didn't. So that's all I'll say about that. So it's something fun too, you know? Find something fun. I'm not saying you have to go be Arnold and, you know, do this and yada yada, you know, I'm not saying that. You know, obviously you can look at me, I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm not, you know what I mean? But I'm saying doing some form of physical activity will benefit you in the long run, and it can be fun. So, and again, it goes back to that discipline thing. If you have the discipline to do that, and you have the discipline to do these other exercises, you will have the discipline to take on these extreme magical forces, and they're powerful. I mean, if you've ever been, if you're not there yet, if you've ever been involved in when you experience the ritual, an experience, what I call an experience, a true spiritual experience, that is a powerful, overwhelming feeling, and it can be draining. Sometimes doing magic can be draining, forces, energy. That's why it's important. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm not saying this is all easy, but being able to adopt a discipline, it's just going to help you. So that's my tips. So yeah, guys, those are my tips. Again, just a real quick recap. 1, relaxation and prayer. 2, a magical diary of some sort, magical journal. 3, basic ritual, like a pentagram ritual. Basic, simple ritual. 4, meditation. Meditation. And 5, some form of physical exercise, a physical routine. All those things, start it from day 1. They are invaluable tools. I was gonna end with books. I think I'm gonna make that another video. So stay tuned for that. I won't wait a whole week though. I'll do it right away. So we'll do books because that can be a topic anyway. So I'll do a short video on books later on. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, guys. Check out the description. All my links to social media. Feel free to comment below. Yeah, that's about it. Again, I thank you for all your help and support. Let's reach that goal again, guys. So thank you very much for joining me and watching this video today. Yeah, go create a wonderful, magical day. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Love is the law. Love under will.